Friday night, Northwest Georgia. We're back. Was out last week getting ready for basketball season. Mike Atwater, Rome Elite Sports. Mr. Lawrence Morgan, Northwest Georgia Football.us. Us. Mr. Benton Bird, she is going to be checking in via satellite. He's at a big campaign for Fire Jeremy Pruitt. He's at a convention in Knoxville to fire Jeremy Pruitt. Man, week 6, man.
Week 6.
We're halfway through the season.
Can't believe we're halfway through. Look, it's 98 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's hot out here. We live at Darlington High School, Chris Hunter Stadium, anticipating a big game Friday night between the Darlington Tigers and the Christian Heritage Lions. We'll get in there in a second. But let's recap week 6, man. And in 6A, Dalton took on Harrison, and the outcome wasn't good for the Catamounts, even though Mr. Jameer Gibbs did rush for 200, I think, 23 yards on 28 carries. Dalton is still in the hunt for a playoff spot. But right now, top teams in 6A is Allatoona and Harrison. They're on a collision course.
Right, I think they play October 18th at Allatoona. That's going to be the game that determines the region champ, in my opinion.
October 18th. That's going to be a huge game. Allatoona people, you might see us up there. All right. Dalton this week will take on River Ridge, which most likely may not be much of a contest, but you never know. You know, we inside these region games. 7-5A, man, and a lot of the only big game I think we're waiting on left in 7-5A is Carrollton and Kell. Rome took care of Kell. Carrollton took care of Rome. If Kell can take care of Carrollton and defeat Carrollton, we could possibly have a three-way tie for first place in the region.
Do you know how that's determined?
I have no clue. I think they play paper, rock, scissors.
Paper, rock, scissors.
To see who determined to get the number one
I always
seed.
take rock.
I always did.
Rock
I always thought about taking rocks too. But Rome, Carrollton, and Kell. Rome demolished Cass this past weekend, 49-10. Jay Blackwell, 173 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Who's gonna come out as the 4th seed? Who we got in those standings in 7-5A that's gonna come out as the 4th seed, possibly in?
I got to looking at it today, and there's still possibly 3 teams that have a good shot at that number 4 seed. But when I broke down the brackets and games left, I really think the winner of the Hiram-Cass game is going to be your number 4 seed.
For real?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. And just for you Rome people out there, if Rome finished second in the region, and just predicting playoffs, Rome could probably, right now, and this is just according as if this was today, Rome would open up with Arabia Mountain, and the number 1 seed on Region 1 is Bainbridge. And Rome has met Bainbridge before in the playoffs. So the reason I mentioned Bainbridge because now what they've done with the playoffs, you go back to South Georgia, second round. So if Rome win the first round game, they could be going on a 5-hour trip to Bainbridge that next Friday.
I got to looking at these brackets in the preseason, and what I found was the number 3 team from 7-5A actually has an easier route to the state championship than the 1 or 2.
Because the 3 seed on right now would be Kell, and Kell could possibly win a game there. Kell, if possible, met Griffin or Thomas County Central. Yeah, they got a shot.
Yeah, I'd much rather play Griffin and Stockbridge than have to play Warner Robins and Buford back to back, you know?
And Rome, if you come out of that side of the bracket where you could possibly see Warner Robins and Buford, man, you sure do. You deserve a state championship. Let's get to the mysterious region of 6-4A.
Mysterious.
Talk about 6-4A. It was a lot of rain going up there last weekend with a lot of teams. 6-4A. Ridgeland defeated Heritage. Talk about that mysterious region. Who's on top right now in 6-4A?
Right now, you would have to say it's Ridgeland with that win over Heritage, which in my book was kind of an upset. I thought Heritage would come out and give them a better game than they did. I mean, 25-20 is not bad, but you still have Northwest Whitfield, who's yet to play a region game. They're playing at Ridgeland Friday night.
Good game. I wonder who's going to be doing those games.
And I know you can't comment on it.
No, I cannot.
But I'm willing to go on record saying that whoever wins that game is guaranteed a home playoff and guaranteed a home playoff spot first round.
So right now, who do you like as the 4 teams to come out of Region 6-4A?
You know, I like Northwest Whitfield, Ridgeland, Heritage, and Pickens are the four right now that I would take if I had to put four. But Lafayette and a much improved Gilmer County team have a lot to say about that down the stretch.
Yeah, these gonna be some competitive games.
Heritage has to go to Lafayette Friday night.
Yeah, that's good.
And if Lafayette can pull the upset,
I mean, we got Mad Chaos.
Mad Chaos.
648. 540. It's still Cartersville region. Cartersville defeated Cedartown this past week, 24-2. Cartersville is doing it in the post Trevor Lawrence era with defense and not offense. Their defense is allowing them and helping them, and defense wins championships.
Absolutely.
They're currently number 1 in 4A. They're number 1 team in Region 5A. Now Cartersville do have 2 tough games coming down the stretch with Troop and Sandy Creek, and actually Troop and Sandy Creek play each other this week. But we pretty much have been content on Cartersville, Troop, and Sandy Creek to be the 3 teams that are locks.
Yeah, I think at this point in the season, those 3 teams are an absolute lock for the 1, 2, and 3.
Should this Cedartown-LaGrange game be a game that the loser could be out of that playoff spot?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I recall a Cedartown-LaGrange game, man, 18 years ago, state championship game in Cedartown, 2001 was a classic. You may see some clips of that later on the Rome Elite Sports Center Facebook page. But Cedartown will...
I'll tell you a team in that region to keep an eye on this weekend, the Central of Carrollton Lions.
They got Cartersville this weekend in Central.
They're a 28-point underdog. I think they'll cover the 28. And at this point, I think they are the 4 seed in that region.
Okay, yeah.
And they have a big win at LaGrange.
Yeah, they beat LaGrange last week, 17-14. Come on, Grangers. Goodness, you represent my high school, man. It's all right. I got out of character.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You better be careful. A lot of Cedartown Bulldog fans out there.
Yeah. I know, man. I was born and raised in Cedartown. I moved to LaGrange when I was 12. So I got Cedartown in my blood, and I got LaGrange in my blood. So I'm a diehard Granger. But I love Cedartown too. So I represent both of them. So I'm with the East Coast and West Coast. I'm with both of them. One of the most underrated regions, as we continue to move on and recap and talk about playoff teams and positioning, one of the most underrated regions in Georgia is Region 6 AAA. You have North Murray, which ended Calhoun's 130-something game winning streak last week. North Murray, Harrison County, up until the last couple of years, Harrison County was a team that was always the laughingstock of Northwest Georgia. Never was it until Mr. Traylon Shepard came along. Nobody really talked about Harrison County football. Harrison County and North Murray lead the region right now, Region 6 AAA. Calhoun is right there. You got Murray County. You got Sonoraville. Adairsville. You got a bunch of teams, man, right here that are in a hunt for a playoff spot. Talk about 6 AAA.
Yeah, 6 AAA is wide open top to bottom right now. North Murray has the advantage, with a big win over Calhoun. I think they're probably the only lock right now for the playoffs. I know Calhoun's pretty dominant, and you could put them in that lock category, but they still have a lot of games left ahead of them.
Calhoun has Harrison County left.
Sonoraville.
Well, they defeated Sonoraville, but they got the LFO. They got Harrison County left. Right now, the question that I have for you, do you think Calhoun will get a home playoff game this season? Will they be a 1 or 2 seed?
I do. I think they'll be the 2 seed in 6 AAA when it's said and done.
So you don't think Harrison has a shot of beating Calhoun?
They have a shot of beating them. I wouldn't be surprised if Harrelson did beat them. Harrelson's big up front. They have a lot of playmakers.
Over 430 yards last week too.
A lot of playmakers on defense. They have the size to compete with Calhoun. I think the game isn't Harrelson, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it is too, because I think last year was up at Calhoun.
And that's going to be an advantage for Harrelson. And that place is going to be packed and rocking. If Harrelson makes the playoffs this year, which I think they will, first time in school history they've gone back to back.
Back to back. And so they got something going down there. And
shout out to Coach Scott Peavy.
Tallapoosa, Buchanan, Georgia. They getting them guys out there. Like I mentioned, they rolled up over 430 yards rushing last week against Adairsville. Calhoun, I had Calhoun and Ringo last week. Calhoun kind of ran through Ringo. Ringo actually, Lawrence, they actually had a shot early in the first quarter and they had a play clock infraction where the time ran out on them, and they settled for 3. And after that, Calhoun just ran away with. Jarian Haynes is a beast at running back, and Calhoun, they looked like themselves last week against Ringo. So some interesting things coming out.
We got a couple of games this week. Harrelson's hosting Cohulla Creek, and Sonoraville is going to Ringo.
And North Murray at Murray County.
And if Sonoraville and Harrelson can win those 2 games this weekend, it sets up a huge game next Friday.
Yeah.
It'll be Harrelson at Sonoraville.
I really like a lot of these teams in this region, man. Sonoraville, I think they have one of the best quarterbacks in the area that nobody's talking about, Brady Lackey. The Sonoraville has a lot of athletes out there on that field that could play at Calhoun, could play some more schools around here. So I really like Sonoraville, man. Don't be surprised.
They
when Sonoraville sneak up on people. The Phoenix, man. The Phoenix will rise.
They had Calhoun back against the wall there early, but they made a lot of mistakes.
From what I've been told, Sonoraville had a legitimate chance of knocking off Calhoun the week before, but North Murray done it that week later. And I'm always talking about that McConkey kid, man. Lad McConkey, Mike Tidwell. They got some athletes over there at North Murray, man.
I tell you what, there is a game in 6 AAA this week that I think is a elimination game, and that's LFO at Adairsville.
Yeah.
I think whoever loses that game probably is out of the playoff race.
And I think Adairsville has 2 region losses. LFO took a loss last week, and if you lose that game and you get 2-3 games behind with about 5-6 games left, it's kind of hard to get out of that hole when you lose games in a tough region like this.
I tell you the thing I learned today too about 6 AAA is they have a positive advantage going into the playoffs because AAA is one of the only classifications that use that power system.
Yeah, because Region 1 in AAA only has 4 teams. So 3 teams automatically go. The 4th team, if they have a good enough record, they will go. But if not, they go to the power ranking. So don't be surprised if you see 5 teams from Region 6 AAA make the playoffs. You could easily get Calhoun, North Murray, Harrison, Murray County, LFO, Adairsville. Now, the only thing about that, when you are in that large team like that, you will have to do a lot of traveling. You're never at home.
You probably go to Peach County week 1.
You're never at home. 5 AA, man. I'm really waiting on possibly Callaway and Lamar County, and to be the big game in that region. Callaway will go to Bremen this week.
Yeah.
Heard County got off the stride. They pulled up a victory this past week. But Callaway and Lamar County are the head of the class in Region 5 AA.
I mean, in my opinion, I actually feel like the game Friday night is going to be the region championship.
Callaway at Bremen?
Callaway at Bremen. Bremen's been playing outstanding the last couple of weeks. They held Cedartown to
What's
7 points.
What's the standard? What's the record on them, man? I didn't know Bremen.
They're 2-2 overall, but they're 1-0 in the region. I think. What do we got?
What is right here?
Let me pull out the magic Michael Atwater standings here.
You
brought me a book today. The 0-0 in 5
So they ain't played a region game yet. Okay.
But they beat Cross Keys last week, 51-0.
Lawrence, we can go beat Cross Keys now.
And
we can go get 9 people, 4 in the wheelchair, 3 in crutches, and 2 blind. We can go beat Cross Keys.
And they beat
right
Caesar.
Oh, well, I'll be quiet on that. I'll tell you.
Yeah, but I think Herd's still going to be in the mix for one of those top 2 seeds. The seed I'm interested in is the 4 seed. Temple's been playing really well. It's a team I really like to follow and watch. And, I think the game in that region is going to be them and Lamar County week 10.
Temple and Lamar County?
Temple and Lamar County week 10.
Lamar County, they're currently undefeated, correct?
Fairly undefeated.
Okay. Yeah, Callaway, I still think the team to beat in that region. Interesting thing as we move on, recapping and talking about playoffs. Interesting thing about 7 AA this weekend. All the undefeated teams in the region play each other, and all the teams in the region that hadn't won the game play each other. You got Coosa going to Armuchee, Gordon Central going to Dade County, then Model to Pepperell, and Chattooga to Rockmart. So this is a positioning type weekend for Region 7 AA.
Yeah, I think the most important games this weekend in 7 AA are the Pepperell Model game. I mean, Model has a chance to shake things up in 7 AA if they can pull the upset. And the 0-2 teams that are battling each other, Dade and Gordon Central, big game for Gordon Central because they still have playoff hopes.
Yeah.
But they have to beat Dade. They have to beat Armuchee next week, and that sets up a game at Model.
Now
for a
you
possible playoff spot.
you were calling me last week and telling me about Gordon Central playing Chattooga last week and how Gordon Central pushed them to the brink. Talk about that game last week, man. Gordon Central and Chattooga, because when you told me the score, I was coming home from my game. I think the final score was 14-10 or something like that.
14-10, and Gordon Central had a 10-8 lead late in the fourth quarter, 10-6 lead, and they did the same thing the week before at Pepperell, 7-7 in the third quarter. So I mean,
fighting.
Gordon Central's right there on the verge.
They're fighting.
That's why I think they have to be big Pepperell Dragon fans this weekend.
Yeah, because you won't model to
you
lose,
won't model to lose,
and you want to handle your business that day. So Gordon Central model could be potentially for that fourth seed.
So if you're from Gordon Central and you're taking that trip up to Dade County this weekend, take you some Dragon pom poms and wave them while you're up there.
I like what Coach Hamilton got going down there, man. He's got something brewing. It actually send a shout out to Coach Corey Nix, because Nix kind of built the culture down there at Gordon Central, and Hamilton has just come in and followed. And a lot of people put stuff on wins or losses. A lot of times, man, your culture has to change before a lot of wins and losses kick in. And Coach Hamilton down there, man, at Gordon Central, he's got some things, man, where he's got a quarterback that wasn't eligible this year because of the transfer rule. But he's got a quarterback that's coming up for Gordon Central. It's gonna be a beast. So, man, y'all watch out for Gordon Central down there in the future. We'll talk about prediction in that region in a minute. And in 6-1A, and I was telling Lawrence on the way up here, man, 6-1A is the SEC of single A football. Bowden is ranked in the top 10 in the public school ranking. Tryon is ranked. In the private school, Christian Heritage is ranked. Darlington is ranked. North Cobb Christian is ranked. Man, and in this region, they're going to have a region championship game.
How many teams do you have in that region? 7? So you got 5 of the 7 teams are ranked.
Yeah.
And the 2 teams that aren't ranked, Gordon Lee, which is always a strong competitor.
Yep.
And Mount Zion, which is your defending champion.
Yep. And Mount Zion is if the playoffs start today, I looked at the rankings, they ranked 22nd, so they will make the playoffs. This 6-1A, man, I tell you. I know next year they go into public and private school classes on their own, but this 6-1A region, Lawrence, man, it's loaded, man.
The best thing
each
about
week, each game, I mean, it's.
And the best thing about it all gets started here Friday night.
Right here, Chris Hunter Stadium, Darlington High School, big game Friday night, Darlington Christian Heritage. Now let's since we are at the midpoint of the season, let's hand out some of our mid-season awards.
Okay.
Let's talk about some of the games, teams, players that stood out. Who is Lawrence's MVP of Northwest Georgia for the mid-season right now?
My MVP of the Northwest Georgia area would be Gibbs at Dalton. It's kind of hard to argue against a guy who's already got 1,200 yards through 4 games. I know they stumbled last week as far as the team goes, but him as an individual player, outstanding.
Yeah, Gibbs, I think he's over 25 rushing touchdowns. He's got over 1,300 yards rushing, top rusher in the state, regardless of class. Gibbs right now would definitely be the Heisman Trophy MVP. Nunu Watley will be right behind. He is a important figure, key card to that Rockmart offense. After Watley, I mean you can flip a coin, or because those are the two that stand out right.
McConkey.
Lad McConkey, he should get some considerations for Player of the Year. LaShawn Lester over at Chattooga. He is a bell cow for them. He's getting things done. Quietly getting into MVP considerations, or as we call it, a Player of the Year consideration. Jay Blackwell has become the leading rusher for Rome. Like I said last week, he ran for over 173 yards, and he's slowly picking up steam for the Rome High School Wolves, man.
Yeah.
So defensive MVP right now. You think who would be who's been the most impressive defensive player that you witnessed?
As far as witnessed, man, there's so many good defenders in Northwest Georgia that it's hard to really single out a single defender. I like the defensive line at Rockmart. I just break it. I take it and break it in half and give a piece to every one of them.
Man, that whole D line at Rockmart. I will give my defensive MVP award to Cartersville High School, the Hurricane. The entire defense. They got the #1 defense in the state They only gave up 2 points last week, and that wasn't even off the defense giving it up. So defensive MVP right there. Carterville has a bunch of stallions out there on the defensive end. You got the Devontae Ross, Quante Jenkins, Markel Coxum, some more guys that have stood out to me on defense. The Griffin kid at Calhoun, the Braden kid at Calhoun. I think they injured right now. Both of those kids have stood out. Tim Jones Jr., safety at Rome High. Got several interceptions on the season. That's a name to remember for the secondary for Rome. So, those are some of the guys that stand out to you
I
here
mean, you
at
got two
Rome
of
High.
of the best defenses in Northwest Georgia getting ready to tangle
Oh,
here
yeah, yeah.
Friday night.
Darlington is one of the top defenses in single A. Christian Heritage is definitely one of the top defenses in single A.
Yeah, I think they've combined given up 68 points in 8 games so far this year.
Both teams?
Both teams.
It's going to be a hell of a game here Friday night. My rookie of the year, the player that has burst on the scene that has impressed me the most so far is a running back for Pepper by the name of DJ Jones. He's a freshman, and about 3 games ago he came in and gave them a burst in like mop up time, and he has slowly become the starter, and he's rushing for over 100 yards. And if you can remember, man, when we was at Pepper a couple weeks ago, I said if Pepper can get them a consistent running game, they're going to be dangerous. And Pepper with DJ Jones back to run the football, they looking more like a complete team that open up stuff for Moses, that open up stuff for Peyton Rhodes, Trey Robinson. Trey Robinson, maybe one of the fastest kids in the state of Georgia. But he's one of the kids that I've noticed that has kind of burst on the scene, man. It's making some noise.
Yeah, I think 2 of the freshmen that have impressed me this year are linebacker Patrick Gardner at Rockmart.
Yes.
Big 5'11", 225, ninth grader. I mean, he had 10-plus tackles in one game earlier this season. Outstanding offense and defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
And a quarterback that you get to see Friday night. I'm curious to get your opinion after the game. Owen Booker at Northwest Whitfield.
Okay. He's a freshman? Oh, for
I
real?
saw him in 707 this summer. Outstanding.
Oh, okay. I get to check him out Friday night at Old Ridgeland. Another rookie that's been impressive is a kid from Cedartown by the name of Eli Barrow. He had 18 tackles in the game a couple of weeks back. He's a kid that's picking up steam for Cedartown. Cedartown trying to get on the right end. And the most improved, you can do player, team. Who would you say have been the most improved to you thus far?
Yeah, I think the most improved team in Northwest Georgia, Gilmer County Bobcats. Coach Kevin Saunders. He's done a great job up there. First-year head coach. I mean, the guys, they had lost 30 games in a row coming into the season. They've won a couple of games already, been in every game they played in. And I think they have a shot to make some noise.
Gilmer County is a team that has improved. Murray County is a team, man. They have gradually improved over the last couple of years. But Murray County is another team, man, that is showing strides week in and week out, man. So shout out to Murray County up there.
I tell you a team we forget, though, because they've always been so good historically. But last year they were 1-9. Bowden.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're sitting at 5-0 right now, 4-0.
Yeah, they're one of the top public schools in Class A. Gage Stevens, sophomore running back, is a beast. He's had 2 consecutive 200-yard rushing games, and I can't wait to see what he does when he come and play against these guys at Darlington or.
Yeah, the name escapes me, but they have a freshman quarterback starting also.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I
Coaches
want to say it's Robert something, but he's a stud too. They got some studs in that little town down there in West Georgia, man. Bowden won the championship years and years ago. This may be their year, man. I know a lot of when it comes to Class A in public school, most of the South Georgia schools win. When it comes to private, most of the North Georgia schools win. So Bowden might break that trend. Who is your coach of the year so far in midseason?
I said Kevin Saunders at Gilmer County, but since I gave them team of the year, I'll go with somebody a little different. I'll go with Jeff Honeycutt at Model.
Yeah, Honeycutt, 2 games in a row he's won. Got a chance of making the playoffs. He's trying to change that culture down there, which Model has never had a bad culture in football, but they want to be a consistent playoff team and compete year in and year out with Pepper, with Chattooga, with Rockmart. My coach of the year so far is Coach Parsons at Rockmart. And the reason he's my coach of the year, everybody kind of kind of felt or kind of thought that Rockmart was going to be down after making it to the state championship last year and losing. Rockmart is actually better.
Yeah, I think so.
Rockmart is probably the favorite to win it all. Because when you think about it, Rockmart didn't lose a whole bunch of talent. They lost their backfield, but they didn't really lose a whole bunch of talent in that game from last season. And Coach Parsons, not only is he keeping the tradition going, with his varsity squad, but his middle school team will probably win the league. They're dominating. They just defeated City Town this past week in middle school game 41. Oh, by the way, shout out to Nick Elliott and Armuchee Middle School for over 500 season, man.
Yeah, I saw them guys play last night, man. Very good. They got a lot to look forward to out there in Armuchee.
Yeah, Armuchee, and that's what we're saying. That's another coach that, they're struggling right now with the high school, man. But don't be surprised in 2, 3, 4 years, Coach Green and Armuchee, all those guys practice together from junior Pee Wee all the way up to middle school, JV varsity. They all in the same area, and Coach Green run that program. And I expect some things from Armuchee down the line, man.
Yeah.
So now we get into what y'all ready to see. Y'all ready to see our prediction? It's a whole bunch of football games in the area this weekend. Y'all get off your butt on Friday night, man, and go see a game. Support these kids. I'm out there myself, but
it's gonna be in the 80s, man. It's gonna feel like wintertime compared to the 100 degrees we're gonna have tomorrow. It'll be a great night to go out and sit under the sun and eat popcorn.
Go catch you a game. Starting off, man. I'm starting off in the 6A. I don't know why the train came by at the time, but I guess we have to talk louder. River Ridge and Dalton. I'm going Dalton. Osborne and South Cobb, two teams that are really not that good in the region. South Cobb, Creekview at Sequoia, Sprayview at Alatoona. Not a lot of big games in 6-6A. 7-5A. Cass and Carrollton. What you think?
Carrollton, big.
3-4 touchdowns?
Yeah, I think Cass just needs to stay healthy and focus on that Hiram game coming up.
East Paulding at Hiram.
Hiram. East Paulding's struggling right now. I saw where they've only scored 21 points in 4 games or something like that.
Okay. Paulding County at Kale. Woodland at Rome. Okay. All right. Heritage taking on the Fed. Well, we need to stop motion because we got the Darlington Tigers. We out here previewing here. Darlington Tigers walking by, coming from practice. We got some of the players. 5-star Tate Ratledge coming by. What's up, fellas? Gotta let us know y'all had practice today. But Heritage at the Fit Friday night.
That's gonna be a good game. Heritage is the 8-point favorite going to the Fed. I'm gonna call an upset right here. This is my upset of the week. I think Mario Clemens.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter. Go Tigers. I need y'all to come back and get on the show. I need y'all to come back. Yeah, I need you to come holler at me.
I got
you. Northwest, I can't talk about Northwestern Region. That's my game Friday night. I'll let you take that.
I'm going to go Ridgeland 3.
Southeast at Pickens.
Pickens, big.
Okay. Coosa at Armuchee. I'm going Coosa in the closer.
Coosa in the closer.
Going Central at Dade County. I'm going with GC, man. I'm around Coach Champ from GC.
Yeah, Dade's struggling right now on the offensive side of the ball. They've only gained 120 yards last 2 games combined. I think that GC defense will shut them down. 14-6.
Model at Pepper.
It's going to be tough, man, for the Blue Devils. I think Pepper will get some 28-0.
Woo. I'm going 28-14 Model Pepper. I think I'm going to go with Pepper. I think Model will put up some points against Pepper. Chattooga at Rockmart. Does Chattooga have any chance against Rockmart Friday night?
The most exciting thing about this game, in my opinion, is to see if Rockmart can continue their shutout streak going. They haven't been scored on in 7
That's right.
I think they continue it 42-0. Right.
40. Okay. That game is at Chattooga, correct?
Correct. I think I got jaded because I went up there 2 years ago when it was supposed to be a big game. It was 60-0 at halftime.
Yeah. You don't want to get another win. The game that you were talking about, Callaway at Bremen.
I think Callaway wins by 4 touchdowns. I think that they're that
But
much
you just
better.
said it was the region.
Region championship. That's how good Callaway is.
Yeah, I think Callaway 4-5 touchdowns. Myself. LFO at Adairsville.
I like the Adairsville defense. I think LFO has enough playmakers to score enough points to outscore Adairsville. 14-13. LFO.
I'm going with that's my upset pick of the week. Adairsville over LFO 17-14. That's my upset game of the week. Kahula Creek at Harrison County. Harrison County by 3-4 touchdowns.
Yeah. I don't think Harrelson will overlook Kahula. I don't think they'll come out and give try to run the score up on them or anything. I'll say 28-0 by halftime, 42-0 by.
The Chatsworth Classic. The Battle of Murray County. North Murray at Murray County. And let me tell y'all, these two teams hate each other. They absolutely hate each other. I know the game's going to be at Murray County. I'm going North Murray 31, Murray County 21.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean you don't like that one. Yeah, I think the game gonna be closer than we think.
I've seen that North Murray defense play. They're stout.
Yeah, they got a nice defense.
35-0 North Murray.
Sonoraville at Ringgold. I had Ringgold last week against Calhoun. Sonoraville, I think big over Ringgold.
Yeah, I've been tricked by Ringo the last 2 years. I keep waiting for them to bust out because I know they got a lot of playmakers. But man, I can't go with them this week. I'm gonna go Sonoraville 35-0.
Okay. Class 6-1A battle where we've been talking about. Gordon Lee at Bowden. Bowden is the number 2 team in Class A public school. Gordon Lee and Bowden, you like Bowden in the route?
Yeah, Bowden's a 30-point favorite. I don't know if they'll cover that, but I think they'll win big.
Mount Zion at Tryon. Tryon is the number 13 ranked team in Class public school, Class A public school. Mount Zion and Tryon, they have to come to this stadium and see Darlington. Who do you like?
I think it's gonna be a lot closer than most people expect. I'm gonna say Tryon by 10.
And now it's time for our game of the week. Chris Hunter Stadium, where we at right now. Christian Heritage Lions, the Darlington Tigers. This is a big game because in Region 6-1A, the winner of Darlington's side will play the winner of the teams on the other side with Mount Perrin and Whitfield Academy. Both of these teams are probably already going to the playoffs. I think with Ratledge, with Colin Rogers is one of the most underrated running backs in the state, and he constantly gets 100 yards week in and week out. They have 2 good wideouts on the outside with Patrick Shelley, Tristan Wright. Christian Heritage, they're gonna throw the ball around. They're gonna move the ball around a lot. Man, I'm going with the Tigers, man. I'm going with Darlington, guys. I'm going with Darlington. I would have had my purple shirt, but it was too tight, and like my nipples were showing through the shirt, so that wouldn't have been good for TV. It really wouldn't have been good.
It could be good for cable.
Yeah, been good for cable. We could have put it on late night. It could have been like some late night TV. Darlington, 35. Christian Heritage, 21. I'm rolling with Ather. Rogers will have over 150 yards Friday night.
You got a big score, huh?
I think Darlington's gonna put up some points, man. Griffin Brewster gonna air that ball out. Darlington by 2 touchdowns.
You got a 56-point total game with 2 teams that haven't even given up that many yards.
Hey, they're gonna explode Friday night.
I tell you what, I'm gonna be out here Friday night, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping to see a big defensive knockout, slobber knocker. I want to see guys.
You want one of them 10-7s?
Yeah, I want 14-7, 3-0. I'm gonna go Darlington 17, Christian Heritage 7.
Okay, that's what Darlington defeated Pepper by earlier in the year. So Friday night, man. Friday nights in Northwest Georgia. Will be out here Friday to get you footage of the Darlington Christian Heritage game. It's gonna be a huge game. We have no clue where we'll be next week. We'll let y'all know wherever the best game is. That's where we're going. Send those pictures and videos. Northwest Georgia Football 2 at gmail.com. Check out our weekly columns on Roma Lee Sports Center.
Yeah, I gotta
Who do you like this weekend in college football? I know you're going with the Dogs over Tennessee, right?
I gotta give a quick shout out to Mountain Coast Network. I'll put the link down below in the description, but they do a lot of stuff for the local games here. You know, you can log on to their website. You can listen to the games on Friday night. Their game this week, game of the week is Coosa at Armuchee.
Okay.
You can log on.
Shout out Mountain Coast Network.
You can log on anywhere in the world you are and hear the Indians and Eagles.
Okay. So for Lawrence Morgan, my boy Benton Burge, he'll be back next week. He said he was coming in via satellite, but hell, we never saw the satellite. We still
That's Kirby Smart calling you.
Kirby. Yeah, let me answer Kirby's call because we play Tennessee on Sunday. Yeah, we got Tennessee on Saturday. Georgia, we're gonna win 45-14 over Tennessee Saturday.
I'm gonna take the Vols in that 21. 35-16, Georgia.
Yeah, that's fine. You got your opinion. That's fine. Hey man, for Mike Atwater, Lawrence Morgan, Friday nights in Norwood, Georgia. Check us out on YouTube.
Good deal.